Okay guys, this is What If Luffy and Ace Were Blood Related Part 2. I'm gonna go over the last part. In the last part, Luffy, Ace, and Sabo went over how they grew up, how like Luffy was trained by Garp since he's the same age as Ace now, so Luffy had a few extra years of training with Garp. And Luffy was considering becoming a Marine before, so he was trained to become a Cipher Pole agent. So Luffy knows like the six Rokushiki techniques, I believe they're called. So Luffy does know those. And Sabo and Ace learned those from Luffy. They also learned hockey from Luffy. And Luffy, Ace, and Sabo, they're all 17. Well, right now they're all on the sea and they're 20 right now. They're out at the sea, they're 20. And, they're all very strong individually. And there are some things I forgot to cover in the last part, like, Buggy didn't meet Alvida, but Buggy's crew did come to the island where, I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure, like Luffy's crew kind of beat up the Buggy pirates. By Luffy's crew, I mean Luffy, Ace, and Sabo, because they're all one pirate crew now. And they all had the idea, they heard of a few pirate crews, and that one of Whitebeard's crewmates, or one of the ships under Whitebeard's command, had 3 captains. Well, it had 2 captains. They're like, hey, us 3 can be the captains. So yeah. And the strats they have Usopp, Nami, and Zoro right now, and Sanji. And Sabo had the idea to train them in hockey, because they're pretty weak compared to them. But Luffy's the strongest on the crew. So yeah. But right now Luffy has to learn how to steer the ship since Ace is kind of their main battle guy. So Luffy is, but Ace comes in close second. So we left off with them leaving Logtown, and they're about to enter the Grand Line through Reverse Mountain. And Ace and Sabo, they've been to the Grand Line. They just didn't take Reverse Mountain. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure I left off with Luffy getting a 100 million berry bounty, and he's going to the Grand Line now. Right, we're starting the story with Luffy, Ace, and Sabo, plus the rest of the crew going up Reverse Mountain. And as they're going up the mountain, Luffy ended up like, hey, pretty cool. Well, and they're going down, and they see Laboon. And Ace does fire like a fire fist to destroy what they think is a mountain or a rock. Luffy says, "Ace, that's the animal," as Laboon will open its mouth. And Sabo, without even thinking, is going to jump in the air and just hit Laboon over the head, not even using hockey. He's just going to punch Laboon on the top of the head. So Laboon just closes its mouth as the ship just kind of just goes over Laboon. So if you guys forgot in the last part, this ship isn't the Mary. Ace and Sabo and Luffy, they set out a lot earlier. And the crew isn't called the Straw Hat Pirates, it's called the ASL Pirates, because Ace, Sabo, Luffy. This is called the ASL Pirates. And, they kind of just go on the seas fighting. And Luffy doesn't have the Gomu Gomu no Mi in this one. Since in this one, Shanks actually tried to have the box locked. So, yeah. And Luffy was smarter and older, so he knew what a devil fruit was. And he didn't want to eat it either way. But I'm going to have Luffy take a different route. Luffy is more like the Ben Beckman of their crew. Ace is more like the Shanks. Sabo is more like the Lucky Roo. Luffy is more like, Luffy is like Lucky Roo and Shanks in one person. So Luffy uses a gun in this one. Like he uses his fist and a gun. Sabo uses a pipe. Luffy uses uses his fist and a gun. Sabo uses a pipe. Ace uses fire. So yeah. Nami still uses her staff. Usopp likes to train with Luffy because Luffy is a sniper as well, or close to being a good one. But yeah. As Laboon closes his mouth, and Luffy I'm gonna say Luffy and Ace inherited the voices, or like the voices of all creatures, so they can hear what Laboon is thinking or saying. It's like Laboon's like, "Hey, help me get over this mountain so I can go back to my crew." And Sabo is confused. So is Ace, but Luffy knows exactly what this is. Luffy says, sorry, but we cannot help you get over the mountain. It'd be physically impossible for you to get over it." And Laboon's like, "Hey, don't say that." And that's when Luffy will say, "How long has your crew been gone?" And Laboon says, 50 long years. And Luffy will say, 50 years on Grand Line. They're either dead or they've forgotten to come back for you. And Luffy will describe what kind of place the Grand Line is to Laboon out loud. So when starts to hear what the Grand Line is like, or when the lower ASL pirates hear what the Grand Line is like, they're like, "You are taking us in that monstrosity." And Nami's like, "If I knew the Grand Line was like this, I wouldn't be coming. But we're already on the ship and we can't go back up Reverse Mountain." So, yeah. And Laboon comes to terms. His crew is probably dead, since they weren't that strong. They're more of, "Hey, we just want to be free." They're like med pirates. So yeah. Also in this one, Garp is actually okay with Luffy being a pirate. Like Luffy straight up has told Garp he doesn't want to be a marine. He's met Sakazuki. Sakazuki hated Luffy. And Luffy found out how corrupt the Marines were, even CP9, since he was trained to become a member of CP9, but he refused to become one since he saw how mean and corrupted they were. So yeah. Right. So the Straw Hats, they get over Reverse Mountain. Laboon becomes an official member, and they don't get eaten by Laboon, but they do see Mr. 9 and Vivi trying to break into Laboon's mouth, and Ace will use Fire Fist to stop them from trying to kill Laboon, actually, because he sees them holding guns. And Laboon will actually tell Luffy, "Those guys are trying to kill me." So Luffy will jump in the air and actually just kick Mr. 9 in the face, as Nami will just hit, Luffy will tell Nami to hit the girl in the face with the staff, and I'll handle the guy. Because Luffy has some chivalry, he's not gonna let himself hit a girl. So Luffy hits as hard as Garp, so he won't. If Luffy hits Vivi, he's gonna kill her. So yeah, and they tie up Mr. 9 and Vivi. They get the whole explanation why they're trying to kill Laboon, and they actually start heading to Whiskey Peak because that's the closest island. They get there, and Egrom's gonna greet them, but he sees that Vivi's tied up on the ship, and so is Mr. 9. And he's gonna be like, "Oh, damn it, Crocodile got her involved with actual pirates." And so Luffy's actually gonna tell the crew, "Don't drink or eat anything they offer you." And start agreeing, like, "Hey, why?" And Luffy's gonna tell them, "I know all of you at least learned observation hockey, so use it to your best extent on the tips of the cacti-looking places." And they realize those are tombstones, and they're put together. These guys killed the visitors that come here. So he's like, "This is gonna be troublesome." And the moment he actually sees that how Egrom's looking at Vivi, he's actually gonna pull them both aside, and he's gonna say, all right, lady with the blue hair, I can already tell you are not cut out to be an assassin like that guy right there. He's not cut out to be one either, but he's a pretty crappy one. You seem like if you were trained you'd be good, but you're not cut out for it. You seem too nice. Who are you two, actually? Because you look at her like a daughter, and you look at him like he's your dad. So who are you two? What are you doing here? They're actually going to give the whole, "Oh, she's the princess of Alabasta, and Alabasta's been taken over by Crocodile." And Luffy's like, "Oh, Crocodile, the warlord. On our way through the Grand Line, we're probably gonna stop at Alabasta soon. So why don't you hop on and we'll take you to Alabasta and I'll fight Crocodile." She's like, "What makes you so sure you can fight him?" Luffy says, Because everyone, well, mainly me, I know I'm stronger than Crocodile. One of my teammates, or one of my crewmates, or the second, or my second in command, my brother Ace, he can make his flames hot enough to make sure Crocodile can just turn to glass and his sand and the devil fruit won't work. So they're like, alright, that seems awesome, cool. And they're going, now, like, this is when Igrum says, everyone was to peek, they're assassins and murderers. Luffy says, and everyone on my crew has a bounty worth a few million. And Luffy's a hardcore pirate, like, not like on Blackbeard level, but he will kill, he will kill some people with no remorse. And he knows some of the people up there are innocent, and he's gonna tell Sabo and Ace that every resident here is an assassin. So he's gonna call the shots to the center of the city and say, all right, is kill or injure every civilian and take as much food and water. Everyone here is assassins and murderers. Go. And Luffy is just gonna like see the buff girl, and Igor's gonna stop Luffy from shooting her because she said they say she's one of the good guys. So Igor's gonna tell her to stop not for the Straw Hats. They're actually gonna get them back to Alabasta and beat Crocodile. So yeah. So she's just gonna sit back with Igor and Vivi to protect them, and it's surprised at how efficient the Straw Hats are. Like not one of them has been hit, and they're all actually using invisible hockey to make sure that if they are hit, it's not gonna affect them. And you see that Luffy is just like firing shots in like large groups of assassins, and every single shot hits. Luffy doesn't miss a single shot, neither does Usopp. By the time the whole thing's done, he realizes no one killed anyone. Like Luffy didn't even kill anyone. He just made sure none of them can be able to run. So so none of us did kill anyone. Cool. And they raid the place for food and water, and V will say, Igaram, VV, whatever your name is, get on the ship, let's go. And he will explain the situation to Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. And when they're done, Sabo's gonna say, Alright, rookies, back to training, let's go. And he tells Zoro he's not allowed to use his sword during the whole time, so Zoro doesn't use his swords, he does use the heavy weights. And everyone has to train with weights, but Luffy specifically trains Usopp in sniping. And Usopp uses guns, and sometimes he'll use his, sniper or his slingshot. And this is where Luffy actually notice Nami is the only one with a weak weapon. Sanji has his legs that can actually be very efficient in hockey. Nami's wooden staff is not going to be too useful. Very flammable, very breakable. So this is when you realize Usopp's actually pretty smart when it comes to building stuff. And Usopp has a tiny slingshot, so he tells Usopp, build him and Nami some new build, like Luffy says, Usopp, build yourself and Nami some new weapons. Nami, your staff is very burnable and breakable. So that's not going to last long. Usopp, your tiny slingshot is not going to hold up. Build something that can hold more fire stars, more lead balls. So Usopp's like, alright. Usopp's like, alright, I'll build some new stuff. And, he does. And I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a little garden right now. So I'm going to say it takes them 5 days to get the little garden. And it took Usopp 4 days to build some new weapons. So Usopp got an excuse not to train, but once he's done, he has to train with his new slingshot. So once Usopp finished building, he gave Nami the climb attack, so she's gonna have some training with it. And Sabo is actually giving her a day off to train with the climb attack, and Luffy's giving Usopp a day off to get used to Kabuto. And this one, the Kabuto is red. And this is where Luffy's gonna say, some people don't call us ASL pirates. They name the crew after my Straw Hat. And Ace and Saber are coming to terms. Luffy's the strongest on the crew. And that's what Saber will say. So why don't we call ourselves the Straw Hat Pirates then? And Luffy says, alright, we can be the Straw Hat Pirates, but I like our flag. And their flag looks like this. Oh, not that. Looks like this. That's what their flag looks like. So, it's just those three on the flag. So, Ace is gonna kind of process this, but he's like, hey, screw it, fine. And, you know, they kind of, I guess, get to Little Garden. And Usopp is actually pretty good with the Kabuto. And he realizes how far it can shoot. It's like pretty good. And Usopp is actually very good with pistols now. So he's not like a Luffy level. Luffy is like Luffy doesn't really miss any shot he takes. And Luffy also has a saber similar to, you know, I'm pretty sure I have somewhere in my gallery of a picture of Luffy using a sword. That. So, Luffy has a sword similar to the one Shanks is using right now. Pause one more time. Alright, I couldn't find a better example except for this toy, but or collectible, I don't care. But Luffy has a pistol similar to that one. So Luffy has a saber like Shanks and a pistol similar to Blackbeard's. So, yeah. And also, Luffy is like it's kind of like Luffy considers Shanks his rival. That's it. But Shanks doesn't consider Luffy a rival. Shanks knows he can beat Luffy easily. But no. If Luffy does use Conquerors, he does know it's going to be a little trouble. So, yeah. Alright. So, Strass kind of just almost killed everyone on not on Little Garden. So, Strass almost killed everyone on Whiskey Peak, and they get to, you know, Little Garden. And the girl with the pink hair from Whiskey Peak, like the big buff black girl, she's on the Straw Hat's crew right now. Like, she's gonna be taken to Whiskey Peak. She's gonna be taken to Alabasta to become an official guard. So the guy with the explosions and the girl that can increase her weight get there, and they see everyone's kind of just been massacred. So everyone just bled out. So yeah. We get to, you know, Little Garden, and Usopp and Nami have been training with, like, Kabuto and Climb Attack. And they get there, they all see the giants fighting. They don't interfere. Luffy says, don't interfere in a giants battle. Wait till they're done. So, they will, and when they get there, or not when they get there, when they see the giants are done, they talk, they wait for the next battle, and the guy that with the explosions gets there. So, he's there and instantly shoots at Luffy. Luffy can sense the explosion about to hit his back, so he just coats it in armament hockey. And it kind of blows up. Luffy will say, hey, who the hell did that? He pats his back and says, didn't leave a mark. I'm fine then. And everyone's surprised except the Straw Hats. Because they declared they're now the Straw Hat Pirates. Not the ASL Pirates. So, you know, if he actually, like, just draw his gun and point it at the guy, actually just fire one round into the guy, one bullet into the guy's head, killing him instantly. And says, this is what happens when you mess with pirates. And the girl can increase her weight is that to try to, I guess, you know, fight them. He's just gonna pull out a fire star and say double fire star as he just hits the girl. Ace will say, I like that. As Usopp will say, Ace. Later, we say Captain Ace. Later, I will need to use some of your fire to make different kinds of fire stars. So, yeah. Mr. 3 will get there with the girl that can, like, paint and just makes you use certain emotions to paint when she paints you. And she's gonna try it on Luffy. It is gonna work until Sabo will just pull out a pipe and hit Luffy in the head with it. So he's gonna actually just hit the little girl in the stomach with the edge of the pipe, knocking her out. And Dory and Dory did get the explosions in his gut, so he is down for the count right now. But Luffy said, "I guess explosions were pretty weak, but if I think the giant's immune system is what it is, or he should get back in a few minutes." So Broggy's kind of relieved, and he's just gonna wait for Dory to wake up. All right, so that's Rats plus Vivi, Igaram, and Miss whatever her name was. I'm just gonna call her the buff girl. So the Strat Pirates plus Igaram, Vivi, and the buff girl end up going to, set sail to Alabasta. They get met by Robin, and they get the log pose. And Nami and Vivi will see, everyone's just blushing, but Sanji is more so blushing. And Luffy will say, "I've been on sea a long time. I haven't seen a girl like her in a while." And Ace and Sabo will say, "Definitely." And Vivi, the buff girl, and Nami will be offended. They will try to hit them on the back of the head, but and they end up hurting themselves. Like the girls end up hurting themselves, not Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. They have pretty thick skulls. So, yeah. Nami did get bit by an animal or a tick, and it's a virus, so they have to go to a different island. They get to Drum Island, and they are met with guns. And Usopp will actually just draw his. Usopp's gonna grab a pistol. He's gonna grab two of them and actually just point them at the crowd. But Luffy will tell them, "Stand down. We're just here to see a doctor. That's it." So they actually speak with Dalton. He's cool with it, and they're told to get to the island, on the island castle. And they didn't meet Wapol. I said Wapol actually recognized Luffy off a bounty poster. So he wasn't really interested in trying to eat a pirate's ship. He knows that pirates with 100 million berry bounty are the line where it's like they'll kill a celestial dragon with no remorse. That's what he thinks. He's like the most ruthless pirates, and they don't want to be around them. So yeah. They get to the island. They meet with Dalton. They're told to go to the castle. And this is where Luffy will say, "Alright, Ace, I'm gonna need you to come with me." As Luffy will pick up Nami, and they start going. And Luffy needs Ace as like a heater. So they're wearing regular clothes, but Ace just has some fire in his hand, so it's a lot easier. And Ace will have to put out the fire when they start to climb, but then he has the idea: heat up his body temperature so he can melt the ice and generate heat. So he does do that, and they get to the top of the mountain pretty easily, since they don't really have to fight the animals. Ace can just use Conqueror's Haki, or Luffy can. So yeah. They get to the top of the mountain, they get to the castle, and they don't beat, they beat the doctor there. Since they took care of the animals a lot easier. And they beat Dr. Green by 10 minutes, so they wait for Dr. Green to get there, and Ace is warming up the whole castle by himself. So he's doing pretty good at that. Green gets there, sees there's no snow inside, and the doors are open the whole time still. But then she gets to the doctor's room, and she sees that Luffy and Ace are in there, and Nami's just on a medical bed. And with no hesitation, she's gonna say, "What happened to the girl?" And they say, "Oh, she must have gotten bit by an animal and got sick." So they're gonna get a whole story, and Chopper is very cautious, and Ace and Luffy are gonna tell if they try to eat, because they're very hungry, and they can tell if they try to eat Chopper, Dr. Green's gonna just go a little wild. So we actually just hold out his hand towards Chopper and say, we're not doing anything. You can come hang out in here. So Chopper's gonna get along, and Luffy will start talking to Chopper. Like, hey, what's your name? Hey, why can you walk on 2 feet even though you're a reindeer? So Chopper's gonna get the whole thing. He ate a devil fruit called the human fruit. So Luffy's gonna be like, oh, cool. And then Dr. News gonna say, oh yeah, how'd you boys end up clearing out the whole house or the whole castle full of snow? And Ace is just gonna hold his hand out, and flame just appears and says, I made a fire. Anywhere I walk, or anywhere I want to, I can start fires, or I can increase my body temperature to the point where I can generate enough heat to melt snow. So yeah, impressive doctoring. Like, you see, and View will actually tell Ace go back down off the mountain, and tell them they're to stay there for a few days for Nami to heal. Ace will do so. So the Sprots are like, okay. And Egram's like, hey, no, we're not waiting. We're not staying here for a few days for some random person. And he tries to take the ship by himself. Until Vivi will actually just smack him and tell him they're waiting here for Nami. So, yeah. And the Strats are still with Sabo since they can't slack on training. And Luffy did want Sabo to come, but Sabo said, no, this is going to be easier for them to train. So, he's having everyone except him train like, he's having Nami have to, like, wear her regular clothes, and she's not allowed to put on warm clothing. Zoro has to train in his underpants and no shirt in the snow. So does Sanji, so does Usopp. And they're like, Sabo, why don't you have to train in your underpants or regular clothes? And that's when Sanji will like try to pull a fast one and say, why doesn't Nami have to wear, nothing? Sometimes it's like Usopp's first response is just to deck Sanji, saying have some self-respect, or just at least have some respect. Nami's gonna laugh and say thank you, Usopp, as they basically training. And Dalton can see like he's working them hard. Dalton will actually bring them food from time to time. And they're actually just supposed to go around the village doing good deeds and train. Like that, like if there's an old lady that bought so much groceries, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, or Nami gets to cover it. And Nami does get to train, like when after she finishes eating and drinking water and stuff, she gets like 20 minutes to train with the climate act. So she knows like the lightning thing. She knows how to generate the storm clouds. And Usopp, he kind of already mastered Kabuto. It's just one giant slingshot. So Usopp mastered Kabuto. Ace gets back up the mountain. This mean does he go a lot faster since he doesn't have to try to stay near Luffy and generate heat so he doesn't freeze to death. All Ace really did is just burst into one giant fireball up the mountain. And once he gets up the mountain, he heard one gunshot. He's like, did Luffy just kill the doctor? And he gets in there. And he gets to the entrance of the castle since he went up the wrong way by accident. And he sees that there's 3 guys there, and Luffy shot one of them. And the guy that Luffy shot was Wapol. Luffy shot Wapol square in the chest. And no hesitation, Luffy's gonna pull out his saber, and because the other 2 guys rush at him, and Luffy's just gonna cut them into pieces as he puts it away. And says, "Sorry, but this castle isn't yours anymore, Wapol." And he'll actually pick up Wapol and throw him off the mountain. Because I'm gonna say that like the bunnies didn't want to mess with Ace and Luffy anymore, but they were still pretty hungry, and Luffy threw Wapol to where the giant Yeti / rabbits were. So Wapol gets eaten alive. That's what happened. And Octarine wasn't looking at this, but Chopper was. And he didn't believe they were pirates, but until he saw this, he knew. Those guys are no joke, and they're actual pirates. And Chopper will give Luffy the whole backstory on like Dr. Luke and show him the flag. Luffy's gonna go up there, take the flag down, and Chopper's like, hey, what you doing? And Luffy's gonna plant it at the entrance of the mountain. And Luffy says, now the whole country can see that this place is, or that one of the greatest men to ever exist in the country was a pirate. And that kind of made Chopper smile. And this when Luffy actually said, "Hey Chopper, you're a doctor. You can talk, and you seem like you have at least some decent people skills. Why don't you join my crew? But if you do say yes, there's first things first. Me and you are gonna have a little brawl. The fight's gonna be me winning, but it's more like a sparring session." And Chopper was gonna say yes, but he does need to spar against Luffy now. And Luffy sees that Chopper is actually very good when it comes to fighting. And Chopper will show Luffy the rumble balls. And he's gonna show Luffy what the rumble balls do, but he's not gonna show Luffy Monster Point. He shouldn't tell Luffy about it. Luffy's gonna be like, did he awaken his devil fruit? So yeah, like Luffy's gonna start thinking and tell Ace, Chopper might have forcefully awakened his devil fruit. So Ace gonna be like, that's kind of interesting, I guess. Alright, they wait 4 days instead since Nami fell asleep for one whole day. They come down, they see that Usopp got a little buff. Zoro is actually more patient and has a sense of direction now since he got lost if he used the bathroom. So Sabo had to make Zoro learn a sense of direction. And Usopp trained 10 times harder because like Luffy inspires Usopp. So I'm pretty sure that so Nami and Usopp are the youngest on the crew right now. Well, the three brothers, they're the oldest on the crew. Because I made Ace and Luffy the same age, and Sabo, I believe, is the same age as them, so they're all 20. Zoro and Sanji are 19. Alright. Chopper will join, making Chopper the official youngest on the pirates. He's also their doctor. So, yeah. The rats leave, and before they leave, Luffy will tell Dalton that he killed Walpole's men, and that some of the monsters or the animals in the woods ate Walpole alive. So, and Dr. Eno actually come down and confirm this story, and the villagers are cheering, but not Walpole's men. They're like, wait, you serious? Walpole's dead? And all the villagers are like pull out pitchforks and some guns and actually rush at the guards. So, yeah. The guards are dead. And, if you're crying, I'm sorry. But, Right. And the villagers will actually elect Dalton as the new king, and he changes the name to the kingdom as Sakura Kingdom. So, yeah. Luffy will leave, and whole Strat crew will leave. And I'm gonna say that one of the men that one of Walpole's men straight up called the world government because I'm gonna say he was hiding and actually told the world government that Luffy had killed a king. He spun the story. So he told them that the whole Strat crew was involved instead. And Luffy's 100 million berry bounty went to 150 million. So 150 million. And Sabo, I believe his last bounty was 50 million. So I'm giving him a bounty of 80 million now. Pretty sure I said Ace's last bounty was 25 million. Ace now has a 60 million berry bounty. And Zoro has a 40 million berry bounty. Sanji has a 30 million. Usopp this time has a 30 million berry bounty. And Nami has a 15 million berry bounty. And because Chopper's new, the guy was they have a pet / doctor on the crew. So the Marines are he's probably not going to be too big of a threat, but if he does get trained by the Strats like the guard, like this guy's saying, so he's going to be a real threat. So they give Chopper a 10,000 berry bounty as a startup. So, yeah. and starts to find out about their bounty increases halfway to Alabasta, because they were intercepted by Mr. Two and not by Mr. Two, and Luffy just straight up told Sanji to fight the guy, and Sanji did, and he won, since he like Luffy knew what Mr. Two's devil fruit was you know, like Mr. Two will try to like appear as Nami, and he did the whole thing where it's like I can copy people's appearance to a T, as he just turned into Nami and showed them her assets. And Luffy's gonna look at Mr. Two, then look at Nami like they're not the same people. And it was just Ace and Sabo that were looking, plus Luffy. And this is where Sanji actually just kick Mr. Two in the head, sending him flying off the ship. Like, he did close his eyes and use observation hockey to kick him in the head, though. And Nami seemed like, you will not speak of what you saw. So they're like, alright, cool. And the rest of the ship, Sabo cannot take his eyes off Nami, so, yeah. Right. Well, those 3 days into their trip from Alabasta to Alabasta, like, they went from Sakura Kingdom to 3 days. Like, they traveled for 3 days after they left Drum Island or Sakura Kingdom, and they're halfway to Alabasta now. They do have to wait 4 extra days because, you know, you say that they run into a Sea King, and it kind of just ended up biting off part of their ship. So they have to repair that part of the ship. Or Sabo and Usopp do. Since Usopp gained a little bit of intelligence while he was building the contact. And Sabo was already pretty smart, so those two built up the rest of the ship. And Luffy did help a little bit, but, you know. Hold up, excuse me for a minute. I just realized that I hit 100 subscribers. Thanks. Cool. Alright, they traveled for 4 days after the Sea King destroyed their ship. Right. Once they get to Alabasta, the Billions are there waiting for them, since I'm gonna say that Mr. 3 called Crocodile and told them what happened. And Crocodile's kind of in shock when he hears that it's like the ASL pirates. They're not known as that right now, but they're kind of known as, well, they're known as the ASL pirates still, until, you know, they're soon going to be known as the Surat pirates. And Luffy can kind of guess what Crocodile's weakness is, since, you know, Luffy was trying to be a Cypher Pole agent, and Luffy's very smart. And Sabo's smarter than, like, Lucci in this one, since his whole goals are to outsmart Luffy, and he did. So he's smarter than Lucci and everyone. Like Sabo's intelligence is a threat to the world government. So, yeah. Like, Sabo's smarter than Robin. Sabo can read poneglyphs. That's why his intelligence is at. He doesn't know he can read poneglyphs, but he can. Luffy and Ace can just hear poneglyphs. Right. Luffy can kind of read poneglyphs, right? But he's kind of in shock when he hears that, you know, the ASL pirates are coming after him. And Luffy can kind of guess what the weaknesses of Crocodile are going to be. You know, say, like, water, or at least some kind of liquid is going to be a threat to him. So, Ace, you're probably not going to be involved in this fight unless you can turn Crocodile to glass. And Ace said, it's going to be pretty draining to just heat up or to use my fire that much. And Luffy's like, alright then. And Luffy can sense Robin's hockey, so he turns around and says, Nico Robin, another surprise visit. She's gonna say, yeah, I guess you can say that. So you guys are already on your way to beat Crocodile? And she didn't hear them talk about how they can beat Crocodile. But, you know, she said, Crocodile's no match for you. You guys don't even know his weakness. And Luffy said, you can already guess it's probably just intense heat and liquid. And she kind of just, like her jaw just drops and it was like, yes, you do know his weakness. How'd you figure it out? And Luffy said, those are guesses. You confirm those are his weaknesses. So Robin just leaves the ship immediately. Like I didn't say anything to you. And so you can already say, it's right. Luffy already knows his weaknesses. So Crocodile's probably outclassed now. She's actually on her way to tell Crocodile he's gonna lose the fight. So yeah. And when Robin does beat the Shrats to Alabasta, so she does get to Crocodile, tells him, Shrats figure out their weakness, figure out your weakness, and he's like, where are they gonna get the intense heat to turn me to glass? Yeah, so that's his only concern. Like, where are they gonna get the intense heat? He says, Fire Fist Ace is on the ASL Pirates. Did you forget? He's like, oh no, a guy made of fire is gonna fight a guy made of sand. And she points out, they know hockey. Like, the whole crew knows how to use hockey. He's like, oh, god damn it. Alright. Have all the billions and millions at the dock to fight. And, they see the billions and millions. And at this point, Chopper has been training with the Straw Hat Pirates, and he has to train overtime to catch up. He hasn't caught up yet, but he can at least use invisible hockey to a good amount. And Luffy will see all of them and say, "All right, Chopper, trying to show your stripes or prove yourself to us. Fight all of them, and you use observation to make sure you don't get hit." And Sabo has actually told the Straw Hats like this is even the first step of training. Like once you all can unlock a good amount of hockey, like the colored hockey, like me, Luffy, and Ace do, Luffy's gonna have to train you guys in the secret or the 6 Rokushiki techniques, which are gonna be a lot harsher than hockey training. So yeah. And I'm gonna say that Luffy actually taught like Chopper, like Tech Eye, just in case, since he saw that like Walpole bit Chopper before. So Chopper has bite marks in his back as a scar. So Luffy taught Chopper Tech Eye while he was waiting for Nami to heal. So yeah. And after about 10 minutes, all the billions and millions are like beaten to a pulp or ran away. The Chopper will come back. There's not even one bruise or scratch on him. Like he's been hit. He was hit a few times, but he's Tech Eye, so they didn't really affect him. And Louis will say, "So Chopper, you can use one of the Rokushiki techniques pretty well." Chopper will say, "It's all thanks to your teaching." And the Shrats will be like, "You taught him Rokushiki technique. We don't even know any." Louis says, "Because he wasn't busy doing something. You guys were busy training with Sabo." And they actually remember Sabo told them about it, and they ask if Sabo and Ace know all 6. They will say, We've mastered at least 4 of them. Luffy knows them all and mastered them all." He says, "Yeah, I've mastered them all. Well, you guys have a pretty good grip on hockey. Just, well, I mean, Usopp and Chopper. You guys continue training with Sabo, Zoro, and Sanji. You guys already unlocked black hockey, so I'll teach you a little bit of the Rokushiki techniques. I'm gonna grab a paper so I can tell you what they're gonna learn." Alright. Zoro is gonna learn Toraimu and Iron Body. No, wait. Zoro's gonna learn Tekai, Soru, and Toraimu. So Paper Body, Shave, and Iron Body. And if you guys don't know what Shave is, it's what Captain Curl used to fight Luffy. It's like teleporting. It's what Kobe uses. It's like Kobe and Captain Curl use it. It's like teleporting, but you're actually just moving very fast. So Zoro does learn Soru, and it can increase his swordsmanship. So Sanji will also learn Soru, but Sanji's gonna learn Geppo, Soru, and Tempest Kick. I can't say Tech Bits. I can't say Ryankaku too well. My bad handwriting is also another side effect of that. Alright, so Zoro knows Tekai, Soru, and Suraimu. So Paper Body, Shave, and Iron Body. Sanji knows Soru, or Shave, and Skywalk, and Tempest Kick. Finger gun, you jam your finger into some, well, not finger gun, Tempest Kick, kind of kick the air, and it turns like your shockwave is slicing someone. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to tell you what Ace and Sabo mastered. They mastered Iron Body, they mastered Soru, or Shave, and they mastered Finger Gun. So they mastered Iron Body, Soru, Finger Gun, and Tempest Kick. They do need to master Suraimu and Skywalk. But Ace, he doesn't really need Skywalk, so he doesn't use it as much. He does know Shave, but he doesn't really do that too much. He mastered it just, And Ace can't really use Paper Body. It's like kind of hard for him to do it. Sabo, it's very confusing to him. Well, Luffy mastered them all. Alright. So, Chopper beat up all the billions. They learned. So Zoro and Sanji are in the middle of learning some Rokushiki techniques. And they're on the ship for about 2 hours. So they can train. They didn't master them, but they're like barely above average. So yeah. Alright. And the Strats end up leaving the ship so they can go at night. And BB, they do the same thing as they do in canon. They go to the city. Smoker will try to attack them, but he's being a lot more cautious right now. And this time, Sanji and Zoro will take care of Smoker and Tashigi. And Sanji will straight up just say Tempest Kick. And he cuts Smoker in half, but he doesn't use Haki, so he doesn't kill Smoker. They don't know how to use Haki in the Rokushiki techniques. Well, Zoro does. He just didn't tell Sanji how. But Sanji kind of cut Smoker in half, and then Smoker reformed and starts fighting Sanji. And Smoker can realize the whole fight is one-sided. But right now it doesn't appear like it, but Sanji's just messing with Smoker. And you can tell, Zoro isn't even using swords on Tashigi. And he's not even using Haki on his hand. He's just smacking Tashigi's blade away as he's walking towards her. And Zoro's not even gonna make her feel better by thinking she's worthy of his swords. He's just toying with her the whole time. And just to make sure she doesn't get in the way again, Zoro will use invisible Haki and just say no sword style, Dragon Twister, and it sends her flying. Sanji can't really reprimand Zoro for this since Zoro didn't physically hit her. And Smoker's gonna be like, "Hey, caught you off guard," and Sanji's gonna say, "No, you can't really catch me off guard." At least has Skywalk, and he uses Skywalk as a launch for Smoke. He uses Smoker's face as a launch pad. And when he did that, it knocked out Smoker. Sanji unconsciously used Haki on Smoker. So yeah, and that means go to canon until it comes to Luffy versus Crocodile round 1. And Luffy will realize he doesn't really have any source of water on him right now, as he's like, oh yeah, and he used Skywalk and got as high as he can and doused himself in water. He got the right idea to use Haki as well, so he used invisible Haki and actually just kind of body slammed or elbow dropped himself on Crocodile. And he's kind of just beating up Crocodile. He mounted Crocodile and started just beating his face in. The only way Crocodile got away is because he kind of stuck a hook straight through Luffy's gut. And he didn't hold back and use the regular hook. He used the poison hook. And he told the Strats, go ahead, it'd be over quickly. But Ace did get kind of concerned when Luffy hadn't come back in 30 minutes, since he knew the fight wouldn't take at least 10. So he came back and thought Luffy was on the ground just bleeding to death, and that Robin just dropped off the antidote for him. So, Ace ended up picking up Luffy and Usopp to catch up with them. Because they're confused why Ace left, and then he came back about 2 minutes after he left, since Usopp and just Ace's mere speed is pretty fast. And Chopper instantly pulled he puts on his backpack and starts shooting Luffy. And Robin told Ace, this is the antidote, use it. So, yeah. So, Luffy's been treated, and he heals pretty fast, which shocks Chopper. So Luffy's been healed, and he asks where they're heading. Vivi says Yuba. So yeah. As the straw hats end up getting to Yuba, they see it's dried. They're not disappointed. And this is when she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go talk to the revolutionary leader. I have a good idea on who it is." And Sabo and Sanji will come with them. Will come with Vivi. No, actually, Igaram and Igaram and Usopp go with Vivi. Just the buff girl and Igaram go with Vivi, since the buff girl's still with them. And she actually did spy on the training of the Strats, so she does know invisible hockey now. So does Igaram. Either they get to the revolutionary army in Alabasta, see, that, the billions are trying to trigger the fight even more. So Vivi will tell them there's like crocodile guys with them, and Koza won't get shot. But Vivi will end up fighting, so will the buff girl and Igaram, and they win. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the fights. I'm pretty sure the guy that Usopp and Chopper fight is named Mr. 7. I don't care if it's not. Screw it. It's gonna be Mr. 7. Alright. Miss Merry Christmas and Mr. 7 versus Usopp and Chopper. Chopper's gonna fight Miss Merry Christmas since he can track her. And he ended up tracking her at one point using observation, and actually kind of just used Clove and Cross on her, and that kind of knocked her out. Usopp was like the baseballs that were launched at him, Usopp would just catch them and drop them. Like, oh, it hit my hand, I'll drop it. And Usopp got kind of bored in the fight. Like, he didn't build the pans and the paper. He didn't build the paper mache hammer. He knew the fight was going to be pretty boring because Luffy told them Crocodile's guys are pretty weak. They have bounties lower than theirs. So yeah. So Usopp was catching the baseballs and dropping them on the ground, or just catching them and throwing them back. And Usopp was like, Kabuto, I can probably code it in a little bit of hockey and use it as a baseball bat as well. So he turned Kabuto to he flipped Kabuto to the point where the slingshot side wasn't facing him; it was at the lower half, and the baseball came towards Usopp, and he home runned it into Mr. 7's face. So Mr. 7 and Miss Merry Christmas are knocked out. Sanji versus Mr. 2 again. Mr. 2's crew rescued him from the water. So Sanji will close his eyes again and code his foot in hockey, and Mr. 7's gonna be like, I can turn into Nami and do some things. Sanji's not gonna fall for it, and he's just gonna kick Mr. 7 square in the chest, knocking him out. So that was just one shot, one kill. That's what happened to Mr. 7. He's not dead, but it was one shot. Alright, Zoro and Nami versus Mr. 1 and Miss Doublefinger. That fight's pretty one-sided. And, Sabo's kind of just staying on the ship. He knows Luffy just wants to fight not Mr. 1. He knows Luffy just wants to fight Crocodile. So, Ace, he does, sense danger, so he's hunting the Broke Works agents that, the Strats aren't fighting, so he's hunting them down. And he's getting the revolutionaries out of Alabasta, telling them the whole actual situation. So Ace is more like the evacuate Alabasta for the fight. And surprisingly, the residents listened. And out of the goodness of his heart, Ace actually told them to pick up, Ace, out of the goodness of his heart, told them to take Smoker and Tashigi with them. Some of the residents did find the marine ship and, drop Smoker and Tashigi off there. And as Smoker and Tashigi were dropped off, they're like, "Hey, what happened?" They're like, "Oh, some pirates told us to take you to your ship so you don't get hurt in an up and coming fight." Smoker's gonna be like, "Ah, damn it, Straw Hat, you beat us and you show us kindness." All right. Ace did find like the bomb, and he snuck into the castle, or the castle, the clock tower, and just he beat up the broke work agents in there, and he took the bomb and just jumped as high as he can in the sky and turned into flames as the bomb blew up. So it didn't really harm Ace. Crocodile didn't hear this; he was more of asleep, and he was like, probably just one of the revolutionaries. And Luffy just slowly walking to the city. Right back to Mr. One versus Zoro, Mr. Littlefinger versus Nami. Mr. Littlefinger versus Nami, that fight is completely one-sided. Nami is just beating the life out of her. So, like, Mr. Littlefinger will launch an attack at Nami. Nami is just gonna dodge it. The spikes, that's not affecting Nami. And Nami will use, like, the lightning spear from the climate attack on Miss Littlefinger and kind of kill her like that. And Mr. One is amazed at how strong Nami is, since he's the only, like, those who are the only broke work agents with a higher bounty than the Straw Hat and like the ASL minions. And Zoro is just using like his bare hands against Mr. One, like he did against Tashigi. Like Mr. One will turn his arm into a blade. Zoro will just use like a little bit of invisible hockey and smack the blade away. And Zoro says, "I can tell you're getting angry that I'm not using my swords against you." Mr. One says, "I am. You're looking down on me." Mr. One will turn his whole body into a blade. Like, like his whole body is very sharp now. Joe's gonna say, I still don't need to use my swords, but to make you feel important, I might as well." So he pulls out like his weakest sword, since he does have Kitetsu the Third and Yubi Shiri plus Kushina, plus Kuina's blade. Like he kills Yubi Shiri, Kitetsu the Third, Yubashiri, and Queen's blade. He has all those. So Zoro will actually draw Yubashiri and just shove it through Mr. One's stomach. And Zoro's like, I could have done that with my bare hand, but you're a pretty strong guy. If I was any weaker, you probably would have killed me." And Zoro's like, "I didn't even have to use 50% on that guy. If I didn't train with Luffy, or if Luffy didn't train me, or if Sabo didn't train me, I would have probably been evenly matched, or I would have almost died against that guy." If he's gonna describe the fight that happened between Mr. One and Zoro and Canon, like this Zoro's gonna describe the fight of Mr. One and Zoro and Canon if he didn't train. He's like, I still would have won, but the fight was gonna be a little harder. He sees that Nami is kind of just sitting there with like a cup of beer and just drinking it, as he sees that Miss Doublefinger is like kind of just burnt to a crisp. He says, "Your fight went as easily as it did for mine." So like, "Zoro, you always toy with guys. My fight went by a lot faster." Zoro says, "Yeah, a lot of the fights aren't really fun anymore, but things happen." And she sees that Zoro kind of just killed Mr. One. She's like, "Is he gonna die?" Zoro says, "Probably not. The guy's pretty strong." And Nami's gonna laugh and say, "You should finish him off before he comes back." Zoro says, "Hockey being thrust through you is gonna knock you out for a while." So yeah, all right, that fight's over now. And Ace will just walk back to the ship. He walked to see how Vivi was doing. The whole revolutionaries just quit. They're like, "All right, we're gonna let this pirate with a higher bounty than crocodile fight." They know they don't know that they think the higher the bounty, the stronger you are. So the crocodile has an 81 million berry bounty, while Luffy has 150 million berry bounty. So 150 million berry bounty versus 81 million berry bounty. So yeah, Luffy gets there and he actually just turns his whole body into he coats his whole body in black hockey. No, he coats his whole body in invisible hockey. So he does that thing. Crocodile's surprised to see that Luffy's alive. Then he realizes Robin's the only person with the antidote for that poison. If the Crocodiles were to get the antidote, it'd be a lot harder, and Luffy would be dead by now. And he's about to like try to stab Robin with a basic hook, saying "You traitor," as like King Cobra watches, but Luffy just grabs the blade and says, "Sorry, but I can't allow that," as he just crushes Crocodile's hook. And like the poison and all, but it didn't touch Luffy because it's in the sheath. Luffy will throw like the broken hook aside and say, "Ow, Crocodile, you owe me for what you did." Luffy's gonna coat his one arm in black hockey as he thrusts it through Crocodile's gut. He says, "This doesn't feel good, does it?" As he yanks it out, as Crocodile will just kind of sit on the floor bleeding to death. And Robin will let King Cobra go, and not Sanji. The revolutionaries will actually walk through the city and say, "Alright, we quit, and all of you that did evacuate, you guys can come back. Crocodile's been defeated." And they see that Robin is still there, but she says, I let your king go. That must be enough. And since Crocodile is kind of just dying there, like his devil fruit's being kind of like, unleashed upon everyone. And because Luffy's strength, he knows like the whole devil fruit reincarnation thing. So Luffy will grab a devil fruit. Not a devil fruit, he's gonna grab like a basic fruit near Crocodile. And he watches as it turns into Crocodile's devil fruit. Hold up. Alright, so if he will take a nearby fruit and he's gonna watch as it turns into the Suna no Mi, or the sand fruit, as Crocodile will die. So Luffy won't eat this devil fruit, but he's gonna just grab like a bag and drop the devil fruit in there. And Luffy has a very good idea of what to do. Luffy doesn't really have an interest in getting a devil fruit, but he might. And right now, Luffy isn't like a Yonko level guy. He's like he's strong enough to at least like he's brave and strong enough to fight with them, but he's not strong enough to win. Like I'd say he's like a high Vice Admiral level fighter. He has the confidence to fight, just not the strength to win. Like he can't beat an Admiral. Ace and Sabo can beat an Admiral. Well, no, they can't. Sabo can't beat an Admiral. Ace can. His devil fruit's gonna make him able to beat an Admiral. But if Luffy were to go all out and use his all out hockey, like Luffy does know he can go like Luffy doesn't know how to go all out. His body won't allow him to. If Luffy were to go all out, he can beat all three admirals. He just doesn't know how to go all out. Okay. We get to the Straw Hats, ending up like leaving Yuba as VP, and the buff girl will say thank you, goodbye. So is Eager-Arm. They don't say they're overnight. Like they don't need to recover. Their fights were easy. They do see their ship, and it is in good condition, but Hana's there, full body's there. Django's dead, so he's not there. They see Hana, full body, not Crocodile. Hana, full body, Smoker, and Tashigi. They see those guys there. Like I said before, Django's dead. And Luffy is going to kind of just lean back on his ship and point a gun at Hana, saying, "So, who's going to move first?" And Hana's going to say, "Well, I don't know." And they're indistant to the point where, like, if they talk normally, like, they have to talk a little loud, but they can still hear each other. That's how close they are. And Hana's like not gonna allow anyone to move. Like she knows Ace and Sabo are hiding somewhere on the ship. And Ace is hiding in the lower deck, waiting for any cannons to come nearby, so he can just incinerate them. And Sabo's waiting for like Smoker or like Tashigi to make a move so he can fight. And the Strats, they're not really interested in doing anything. They're kind of just sleeping on the ship. Thing is, they stop the Marines and like saying, "Should we just go fight?" He says, "Nah, just go to sleep." And Robin is with them, and Robin kind of has a little surprise for Luffy, so she's just waiting in his room. And there's a captain's room on Blue Jam's ship, if you guys remember, from Luffy's childhood flashback. Like the Blue Jam ship has a captain's room. It's not very big, but it's enough for at least one person. She's kind of waiting for Luffy in there. And there's like 4 total rooms on the ship, so some of the strats do share a room, but like Ace and Sabo don't share a room. So Luffy has the captain's room. There's 4 separate rooms besides that one. So Sabo and Ace have their own rooms. Nami has her own room. And because Usopp is my favorite. Well, right now, Brook isn't on the Strat crew. Usopp is. Usopp has his own room. Zoro has his own room since he's kind of the veteran Straw Hat. And Zoro is okay with sharing a room with someone, so Nami isn't okay with sharing a room with Sanji. She gets kind of creeped out, so he shares a room with Usopp. While Zoro shares a room with Sanji, Usopp shares a room with Luffy. Alright, I'm gonna go over the whole ship layout actually. There's 5 rooms on the ship. There's one big room for more people to like just go into. I don't know why, but I like detail for no reason. There's those 5 rooms for like one person each. So they have enough size so like one person can sleep on the floor and one person can sleep in a bed, but But there's one giant room for just like extra people. Luffy has his own room. Ace has his own room. Sabo has his own room. Nami has her room. Zoro has a room. So Luffy doesn't share a room. He has his own room. Sabo will share a room with Usopp. Ace has his own room. So Luffy doesn't share a room. Sabo shares a room. So Sabo and Usopp, one room. Luffy, one room. Ace, one room. Zoro shares with Sanji. Nami shares with Usopp. No, Nami shares with Chopper. So yeah. Well, Robin's kind of a new addition, so she might have to share a room with someone. She chose Luffy. He's the captain. Luffy has like the biggest room besides that one extra room. So there's like enough room for like 2 people and one really skinny guy. It's like one giant bedroom. Right, so Luffy's kind of just pointing a gun at Hana, and like Sobo's kind of just ready to fight Smoker and Tashigi, and Ace is prepared to take on like cannon fire. And all that happens. Smoker's gonna rush at like Luffy, so is Tashigi. And they're demanding Zoro and Sanji, but instead they get Sabo, and he beats them mercilessly. Like Smoker will try to use his Jute or Jite, I don't care. I'm gonna call it a Jute. Smoker will try to use his Jute, and Sabo kind of duck under that and just kind of use finger gun as he jabs it in the Smoker's side. Well, Smoker's gonna like fall to the ground and realize that's a Rokushiki technique. And he says, if they know Rokushiki techniques, this is dangerous. And the cannon fire starts. Ace is gonna put up he's gonna jump out from like a lower window on the lower part of the ship and just fire off. Like he's gonna use his most powerful fire fist, which is just like a blue turning purple fire fist. And it actually melts all the cannonballs. And the cannonballs are like they don't see that Ace is tired from that move, but they don't see it. But they're like, if this is gonna happen, he can probably just do that the whole time. Ace has like enough energy for just to use a flame commandment in a basic one. And Hana sees that Tashigi is easily outmatched. Smoker is on the ground in pain as she sees he has a hole in his body. And she sees that she can tell Ace is a little tired, but knows he has enough energy to destroy the ship. And she's like, alright, all of you pull out. Tashigi, grab Smoker and come back. And Full Body will say, sorry, Captain Hana, but I can't accept that. She says, alright, damn it, Full Body. Alright, me and you are gonna have to fight Luffy. And Full Body's like, I'm not prepared to fight that guy. I'm prepared to fight everyone else, just not him. She says, Full Body, help me fight Luffy, or I'm gonna throw you into the ocean. So Full Body and Hana versus Luffy. Luffy's gonna pull out the saber and kind of just slice up full body. He's not gonna die, but he's gonna be laying on the ground, gonna pull up his own blood. Hana will try to use her gates on Luffy, and they wrap around him, but Luffy will just stretch out his arms, like, or just at least raise his arms up, and he breaks the gates. And he kind of just jumps at Hana and hits her in the gut, knocking her out. Alright, so that's the part. We leave off with the Alabasta arc being complete. If you guys enjoy this part, have a good day. Thank you for 100 subs. I can't thank you enough. If you guys enjoy this part, good day, good night, whatever, wherever you are. Good afternoon for me, but, you know, I'll upload tomorrow.